Hello and welcome to Bible Bites Daily. Today we have reached Leviticus chapter 21. In this chapter, we uncover profound insights into the sanctified service of those called to minister before the Lord. Join me as we explore the relevance of these teachings to our lives today. From verses 1 to 6, it talks about the holiness of the priesthood. Leviticus 21 commences with a call to holiness for those set apart for the sacred duty of priesthood. The Lord emphasizes the need for a higher standard of purity among those who serve in the holy sanctuary. This simply means that whoever does the God's work need to be at a higher standard than the regular people. This underscores the idea that proximity to God's presence requires a consecrated life, a committed life. Consider the concept of holiness in your own life. While not all are called to be priests in the traditional sense, Leviticus chapter 21 encourages us to approach our service to God with hearts consecrated unto Him. It reminds us that our actions, attitudes, and character matters as we draw near to the Lord. From verses 7 to 15, the chapter talks about restrictions and responsibilities. As we progress through the chapter, specific restrictions and responsibilities for the priests are outlined. The prohibition against mourning rituals and the guidelines for choosing a suitable wife highlight the importance of maintaining a distinct and honorable lifestyle. Reflect on the principles of distinction and honor in your own life. Leviticus 21 prompts us to consider how we carry ourselves as representatives of Christ. It challenges us to uphold values that set us apart and reflect the holiness of our calling. From verses 10 to 15, this talks about the sanctified role of the high priest. The later part of Leviticus chapter 21 sheds light on the role of the high priest and the standards set for his consecration. The high priest is to be even more set apart, embodying a level of holiness that symbolizes his unique standing before God and his responsibility to intercede on behalf of the people. Consider the concept of intercession in your own life. While we may not serve as high priests, Leviticus 21 encourages us to embrace our role as intercessors for others. What this means is that we need to be at the utmost higher level possible when it comes to holiness and when it comes to being close to the God. It reminds us that a life of prayer and advocacy on behalf of those in need is a sacred calling. So, what are the lessons that we have learned from today's chapter? One is holiness in service, 2 is distinct living, and 3 becoming the intercession for others. So, what does this mean for us as a regular individual, as a normal human being? Holiness in service is nothing but to approach our service to God with hearts dedicated to Him, whether in ministry or in daily life. Our actions and attitudes should reflect a commitment to holiness. Distinct living is nothing but having a higher ground, having a higher standard of living when we are closer to the God. The principles of distinction and honor outlined in this chapter are relevant for us today. As representatives of Christ, let us uphold these values that set us apart in a world that often compromises on integrity. So, what does it mean to be an intercession for others? While we may not be high priests, the calling to intercede for others remains. So, intercede for others is nothing but upholding others' integrity, upholding others' dignity. Leviticus 21 prompts us to engage in the sacred practice of prayer, standing in the gap for those in need. Pray for those people who needs Jesus. To conclude, dear friends, this chapter let us carry these lessons into our daily lives. May we heed the call to sanctified living, recognizing that our service to God, our distinct living, and our intercession for others are all part of a sacred and holy calling. In a world that often blurs the lines of integrity and honor, may our lives shine as beacons of holiness. May our hearts echo the words of Isaiah, "Here am I, send me," as we embrace the sanctified service to which God has called us. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ empower us to live holy lives for His glory. Thank you for listening. May God bless you all in abundance.